What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Hades. This is the man, this is the myth, this is the legend, Magyar. This is his main account from back in 2009, which he created on Voobly. So you know that this is him. There is no questions. There's slight questions around this Smurf, but there are no questions. The GOAT is playing, and the GOAT is playing Hades on the map Mediterranean. He is playing against Eric from Brazil the first. He's playing Zeus. Yes, the map is Mediterranean. We'll have to wait and see how this is all going to show up here, because this is the thing. My opinion of Mediterranean is that Mediterranean didn't really get solved until maybe 5 years-ish ago. About 5 years ago, Mediterranean kind of got solved. But potentially, Magyar had already solved it. He just didn't, the information just didn't really get learned. So we'll have to wait and see how it all kind of turns out and what Magyar's plan is. But basically, like before 5 years ago, maybe like before then, we had players going for crazy stuff like 4-minute advance times. We had 4:36 fishing ship advance times. We had all of this like 5-minute advance time, 5:15 advance times. Everyone doing kind of different stuff here on this map, and no one really realizing that the optimal play is to simply just put, if you can get 3 docks up, put 3 docks up. So Egyptian, Norse, get 3 docks up. Go for a 4:30 advance with 9 fishing ships. If you're Greek, 2 docks and put a 3rd dock up a little bit later. If you're Atlantean, 2 docks or 3 docks, depending on which sort of what sort of strategy you want to do. But everything is centered around advancing at 4:30 at the 4:30 minute mark. Magyar, on the other hand, here, he was immortal on this map. Everyone talks about Magyar's micro when the pros who are still playing today, or who played back with Magyar, they all tell you that what made Magyar so good was his micro, was his pressure, the amount of the fact that he could win fights, down technology, down unit numbers consistently against the best players. This is what made Magyar so good, and this is why he was immortal on this map Mediterranean. And this is why I wanted to watch this map specifically, is to see, is he still the Magyar of old? Is his micro still top notch? And does he still know exactly how to play this map and these situations? We see a house coming down a little bit late here. If there's a fishing ship that comes out, no, he's cut the fishing ship. He's got himself 7 fishing ships out right now. He might be going for the slight 416 build, which is we've seen a little bit of, but now the house is going to come up. Fishing ship wants to come through as well. If we take a look over at Eric's base here, he should be looking to advance here. He's actually had a little bit of idle villager time at this point. But nonetheless, we see Magyar coming up, and this is one of those things that I kind of talk about a little bit here in the Age of Mythology land, is stop taking these crazy risks. This build, I kind of want to pause it, but I'm not going to. This build that I see top players doing from time to time, where they don't build a granary and they go into their pigs first. I'm not actually sure if this is what Eric did, mind you, but I could be saying this out of place. But this build, it's a risky build. If you don't find your herdables, you struggle. It's just much safer to just take the slight delay on the second fishing ship and just be like 10 seconds behind on a fishing ship, and you get that time back in gather time on your consistent villager production. That's my opinion on the whole thing. Build your granary first. That's my opinion. You can disagree with me if you like, but we see Magyar here getting a really clean advance time. He's got himself only 7 fishing ships, so you can see the difference here in play style. This is what I call 2012 Mediterranean theory. So we'll have to figure this one out, as the trireme coming out for Magyar. Athena coming through for Eric as well. Minotaur coming in. And he's just going to be sitting back here. And Magyar's going to be ready. He's got his houses already up as well, so he doesn't get housed. Eric, on the other hand here, he's getting his units out. He's got not quite as many houses, but he's got his trireme out. He's just going to be sitting back waiting for the time being. Magyar, on the other hand, ready to start moving forward. And now we get to see the micro, that is Magyar, immediately going for that pullback. He gets a couple of shots off here, gets some return fire, already getting a slight advantage on these ships, as you can see, immediately pulling back those boats. It's literally immediate. And this is Magyar of old. I'm already claiming it. He's here. And Eric is going to be trying his best to maintain these maintain his DPS. But look at these boats, they haven't been touched yet. I mean, so too, Eric's boats have barely been touched, but the micro is just on another planet here, as Eric here is trying to do as best as he possibly can. But Magyar, he's just got there's something about the Magyar essence. The essence of Magyar that scares everyone. And he's just going to continue pushing in. Pulls back the boat. Eric misclicking a little bit. Still hasn't got the DPS off. Immediately pulling back that boat yet again. Restoration coming through for Eric. And Eric's boats are doing nothing here in this fight as Magyar continues to overwhelm with sheer micro. We do see the Minotaur coming into the main base here. Sentinels coming through immediately there to defend that position. There is the Minotaur over here that Magyar has. Restoration coming through for Magyar as Eric's getting pushed back underneath the docks. And he's now sitting under here. He's got to be a little bit careful not to overcommit here as he's worried about this Minotaur. But a little bit caught out of position. This is something that happens to everyone. If you get hit on the land, that's the time to attack. We see the villagers having to retreat back. Magyar having a little bit of problems now, but his Minotaur comes in, gets a headbutt. Bolt coming down too late there from Eric as the Minotaur gets that headbutt off, and that damage has been dealt with as the micro are going to start yet again here as Magyar just all over Eric. There's population differential right now, 58 population for Magyar to Eric's 54, so still very, very close. So you can't take your foot off the pedal here at this point. But lots of low HP boats here for Eric as Magyar, he's having a field day with Eric's boats. Eric's just losing everything in these fights, and Magyar is just continuing to output heaps and heaps of DPS in this fight here. And Eric, he just has to maintain composure and realize he's kind of outmatched in the micro and has to find a different way forward here. Thank you for the prime there, Quinta. 8 months. Appreciate you, my friend. Still right now, the boats here, how many boats do we actually have here for Eric? He's got 8 boats. Magyar, on the other hand, he's sitting at 13. It's just such a huge advantage on the water. Now the micro doesn't really matter that much, because once you've got a big enough advantage, you just kind of can sit there and spray arrows and all of the other good stuff. As Magyar going to be retreating back home. Plenty of resources, 15 villages on wood, 11 on gold. The macro here from Magyar is literally perfect. You basically want to go 15 wood and then a bunch on gold, and that, especially when you have an advantage on the water, and that allows you to then be able to throw down the second town center nearly immediately here. As the trireme retreating back. The other option here, we do see a Chiron coming out. The other option here is villagers forward. And this is exactly what Magyar's doing here. I love this play. He could go for this town center. Alternatively, he could go for another villager coming down here, potentially walling this bottom gold mine off and going for some sort of land play. We'll see what Magyar's going to do. The other thing is, if you only put 2 villagers onto the town center, that's an option as well. A little bit of a housing crisis currently as Magyar's house is clicked but not being built for whichever reason. And we do see a stable coming up here at this point. Thank you for the gifted sub, Flip Kira. Appreciate you so much here. Thank you for that one. But now we see Eric starting to push back in. And here's the thing. Eric's gold mine, 1,000 gold left here. This is an interesting decision here from Magyar. If he wants to give up on the water at this point, is he actually giving up on it or not? As Magyar here, he's got the double docks, not producing trireme anymore, just completely saying, all right, time to give up. Stables coming down on both sides. This is so Magyar. I remember this play from Magyar from way back when. He goes both sides and he's going for the gold right now. You don't have to win the water here on Mediterranean. You don't have to go for town centers straight away. You can get stuff on both sides and pump all your military units out. You're ready to go. And Magyar knows this. He knows that the gold has to expire at some point. And if he's ready, he's ready. And look at Eric. Eric's going to be feeling, oh, look at this. I'm winning the water now. And yes, you're winning the water, but that's so many resources invested in the water that really don't matter in the slightest when it comes down to it. Gold is everything. And Eric here, he's not producing boats anymore. He stopped producing boats. He probably thinks in the back of his head right now that, thanks for the 5 gifted subs there, Kara. Appreciate you, my friend. But now Eric's thinking, well, Magyar's given up on water. He's definitely going for town centers, right? That's got to be the thought process. He hasn't seen anything, but the military units are starting to come in. They're starting to go for the raids here. Eric's getting himself out the Odysseus, and he has to start thinking, okay, how do you deal with this? He's got only a little bit of gold left. There's units on both sides. Eric's got to think maybe wall this off, and start trying to grab this gold mine. Magyar, on the other hand, he's spent all of his resources here. He's got villagers on this hunt over on this position as well. There's hunt here. This is another reason why Magyar can make this work. His units are possibly on the wrong side of the map here, as the gold villagers will most likely want to come over here. But as the Hippocon are pushing in, trying to take these villagers down, you do see that Eric's gotten some villager kills, technically taking down fishing ships, but actual villagers are falling here in the main base here, as Eric's gotten himself watchtowers, but Magyar doesn't care about that at this point. As the Toxotes is coming forward, he's able to take down villagers left, right, and center. We do see a Minotaur coming out. This is a big play that Eric can actually do to play around this, because he's got the fish. He can spam out a bunch of fishing ships here, get himself up to like maybe 16 fish or something like that, and put a whole bunch of villagers onto the temple and go for Minotaurs here, play around the gold starve, and continue this game if he so chooses. We'll see if that's something that he wants to go for. But Magyar, he's just spread out everywhere. He's got so much pressure onto Eric, and Eric's gold mine has expired. Where is Eric going to be going with his villagers? Going up to the top side of the map, we do see that the Minotaur able to take down a bunch of units over here. The Hippocon swinging around to the top side. We haven't seen that vital wall placed here from Eric to stop this kind of a play from happening. Look at all the Toxotes just waiting for the villagers to come in. More Minotaur are coming out though for Eric. Smart play, but the Chiron is here, the Ajax is here, and Kara still putting in more gifted subs. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. The villagers have to retreat back here. Odysseus coming in to help out. The Hippocon able to take down one of those Minotaurs. Magyar can start microing this if he so chooses. The villager's going to come in here to start shanking these Toxotes down, but they just simply retreat back. Chiron trying to get through here, but the Trireme are actually stopping the retreat path, or the assistance of this Chiron here. 5.5 speed, this Trireme can actually hit that completely there. As the Chiron moves forward, we see an attempted tower to come through here for Eric, but now with Chiron in the army here, that Minotaur is much less scary, as the Toxotes coming through, going to start taking down these villagers. And Eric here is slowly starting to run out of gold. These villagers trying to mine this gold mine with Toxotes everywhere here. And Magyar pushing through, taking villagers down, stops the tower from coming up there. The Hippocon here just about to fall. Ajax going to be going down fairly soon here, but the Minotaur does go down. More villagers getting taken out over here, as well as the villagers have to retreat back. So many villager losses here. Eric has got nothing remaining really in terms of the villagers on this position. More Minotaur coming out. The Ajax over on this position has to come back. We do see the Odysseus getting targeted down, but the villagers, they're not getting back. They're not retreating back at all here in this position. Look at the micro from Magyar. He's just pulling those Toxotes back, and he's just not losing anything to that Minotaur there. He gets taken down to 9 HP without utilizing one special ability. Beautiful play there from Magyar, as the tower getting taken out on that position. Magyar here is full send. He could grab a town center. He could go to the next age. He could do whatever he feels like. He's got full control of the gold. He's done so much damage. The Hippocon on this side already sniping villagers down that are trying to make their way over onto this gold mine here. as the Minotaur gets taken down. More Minotaur getting created here, but they're just going to continue to get sniped down. Magyar doesn't care that there's tower fire coming through here from Eric's Zeus at this point as the Hippocon come through to take out these villagers. More and more are going to be getting taken out. As like, what else can you do here from Eric's perspective? Eric's got nothing remaining. His villagers still trying to get over onto this gold mine. He does have a whole bunch of fishing ships here. He didn't rebuild more. He has a couple more fishing ships, but he didn't really take full advantage of the full control of the water here. But Magyar, he's on top of everything at this point. The one thing that Magyar isn't overdoing or isn't overcommitting to is just too many units over on this gold mine. He's happily going to take out these watchtowers on both sides, and eventually Magyar's going to be able to advance to the heroic age here if he so chooses. As the Hippocon getting taken out on this position, the army retreating back in, and Eric here, he's still trying to send villagers forward. There's only a handful of Toxotes here, but these Hippocon can just move wherever they so choose. At this point, he can just go left, right, center. More Toxotes getting taken down as Magyar is keeping the pressure up here. And what else can Eric do? He's got 0 gold income. He's got himself 7 villagers on the favor. So he does realize that he can potentially push out of his base if he can get enough Minotaurs out. That's potentially a possibility here, but maybe it's too little too late. He's lost so many villagers trying to get himself a second gold mine here, and he's not also got no wood that he can gather. Potentially this wood line here is not so bad, but it's just really, really tough. And here Magyar's realizing no favor income. He can just sit in here with his Toxotes and push off this temple as well. Not only to mention, Magyar's going Aphrodite. He's got 2 town centers up. He's in a commanding position now. Villagers moving forward. He can also grab Eric's deer here if he so chooses. As the villagers get pushed off of this temple, more villagers getting sniped down, the temple getting taken out here as the Odysseus Minotaurs pushing forward onto this position, immediately going to snipe out that Odysseus there as Ajax coming back in to try and help take out the Bull Minotaur that Eric has created here. Eric trying to shank down as best as he possibly can. The Ajax is going to be able to finish that off really fast, and in that moment, Eric taps out. GG. Magyar on Mediterranean is the king. The GOAT of Mediterranean is back, showing something that, honestly, we haven't seen in quite some time. He dominates the water so hard there early that he can just say, look, all right, hands off the water. Don't need to produce anymore. If you want to fight the water back and win the water, no, you're not going to get a gold mine. What a play here. The standard play for so long on Mediterranean has been 2 town centers, or fight water for a little bit, get a slight advantage, go for a second town center, get a slight advantage, go for a third town center, win at like the 25-minute mark with the stronger late game. That's been what happens on Mediterranean. But Magyar's play here, where he sends villagers forward on both sides, builds military buildings, it's a risky play, but it's so beautiful to watch. It's so much fun. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.